This morning, the clock is ticking to avoid a government shutdown. What your lawmakers are doing about the stalled negotiations in Washington.
An attack near Camp Randall, now deadly. What we know about the victim and the suspect.
And a big pay bump. What Madison school board members will now be paid and how much extra it's expected to cost the district. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning on your Tuesday. I'm Kyrie Lee.
I'm Chris Stanford. Thank you for joining us. It's a big day in Madison and Dane County and for the entire state for that matter. This is because the Midwest Dairy Expo, a World Dairy Expo, begins in just a couple of hours.
That's right. It's going to kick it all off. We have meteorologist Savannah Brito and our Josh Brider live at the Alliant Energy Center this morning to give us a sneak peek of the event. Hey, guys.
Hey guys, good morning. Yes, the World Dairy Expo officially gets underway today. We are inside the Coliseum at this hour. We're just a couple of hours away from the public actually being invited on in for the very first day. They're expecting around 50,000 people here over the next few days, Savannah.
Wow, we've already seen so many cows and this beautiful backdrop behind us. We were talking about that when we came in. So cool.
You know, it's so amazing how much the World Dairy Expo, they go all out for this every single year, and every year it's kind of fun to see the changes because there's so many people involved with the dairy farmers of Wisconsin, of course. But I mean, this is the World Dairy Expo. There are people from all over the world that are going to be descending on Madison this week, and we were talking to, you know, some of the folks from the World Dairy Expo a little bit earlier, and they were talking about how the weather sometimes can be a little weird. This week it's warm.
I know, abnormally warm summer-like weather, and they were saying that this right now is the ideal weather, about like 55 to 65, but we're going to see temperatures rise to about 82 later this afternoon. So we're looking at another warm one. Yesterday we hit 86.
Wow.
And that was the forecast high. So it was, I mean, some spots hit close to 90.
What's the visibility like this morning? I know you've been tracking that.
Yeah, that's the big thing. We do have some fog that we're dealing with right now. Not super dense or widespread fog, but you will encounter that when driving. So that's the big story this morning in the weather department. Just give yourself maybe like 5, maybe 10 extra minutes if you're traveling around southern Wisconsin, because there are pretty low visibilities across about half the area right now.
All right, well, we're going to have a lot of fun here this morning in the 608, again, live at the Alliant Energy Center. Coming up here in about 10 minutes or so, we're going to be talking to the World Dairy Expo, what folks can expect if they come on out this week. And we're also going to ask about that weather just to see if they're going to be seeing any impact, because a lot of folks like you and I might like the summer heat, but the cows
good for everybody.
Do not. Yes, so we're going to have some fun a little bit later, guys, but for now, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Josh, Savannah, thank you. We'll check back in a little bit. Now to our top story this morning. Congress has less than 24 hours to fund the government or force the first government shutdown in nearly 7 years.
With a midnight deadline, Democrats and Republicans are at odds over health care and spending, and there are thousands of federal workers who kind of hang in the balance that face furloughs or even permanent layoffs. A Republican-led bill already passing through the House, but negotiations have stalled as Democrats are calling for an extension to Affordable Care Act subsidies. We asked Democratic Representative Mark Pocan about their demands.
Republicans are in charge of the House, Senate, and White House. They should have came to us at some point to actually work through this. They didn't. They wrote their own bill, and now, you know, clearly we're trying to protect people's health care, and we're fighting for that.
In just a few hours, Senator Tammy Baldwin is expected to hold an online news conference on the shutdown. As for Senator Ron Johnson, a week ago, he proposed a new bill that would avert a shutdown. It would have automatically funded the government for 2-week increments until a full budget is passed.
A shutdown could impact your upcoming travel plans. Airports will still operate and be staffed as TSA agents, air traffic controllers, and federal air marshals all still have to show up without pay. However, a former TSA officer told CBS News that you could expect delays at security if it goes past 2 weeks. In the meantime, the Rail Passengers Association says trains may not get disrupted by a shutdown at first, but warns that a prolonged shutdown could impact our rail networks. Passport services are also expected to operate as normal. And to get the latest on the budget negotiations and the shutdown, you can download the free Channel 3000 News app. If you sign up for push alerts, you'll know immediately when the news breaks.
6:04 now. The potential shutdown comes as today is the final day that the U.S. government will be issuing paper checks. It's part of the Trump administration's effort to fully modernize federal benefit payments, save some money, and fight financial fraud. The move will also impact those on Social Security and will affect how you receive your federal tax refund. Social Security Administration says benefactors can receive money via direct deposit now. So if you're not already enrolled in this program, you can visit the Social Security Administration's website. That's ssa.gov, or call the number on your screen, 800-722-1213. You can also enroll in a Direct Express card. To do that, just call 800-333-1795. To some more local news this morning, Monona police say they responded to a domestic violence call overnight that later turned into a standoff.
Police say the man threatened to shoot officers outside. The multi-hour standoff happened on Ford Street starting around 7:30 last night after police received a call that the suspect had threatened family members. The family was able to leave safely as negotiations got underway. Police entered the home around 1:30 this morning and took the man into custody. Officers later confirmed he was unarmed and no one was hurt. News 3 Now will not release his ID until formal charges are filed.
A violent attack near Camp Randall earlier this month is now being investigated as a homicide. The victim died from their injuries recently. Dane County medical examiners identifying the victim as 62-year-old Mark Tigalar from Fitchburg. Officers found him in a parking lot on Breeze Terrace across from the stadium September 20th. Tigalar was taken to the hospital where he died last Thursday. Now, on the day of the attack, police arrested Keith Jones. UWPD says the suspect and victim were co-workers and that the attack was targeted. Jones was off the clock but still in uniform when the attack happened. Right now, police are recommending the district attorney file charges of first-degree intentional homicide.
A man accused of murdering a woman on Madison's east side has pleaded guilty to first-degree intentional homicide. Terrence Davis is charged in the shooting death of Michaela Rogers last year near East Washington Avenue and Schueteman Avenue close to the Quick Trip. Rogers and Davis were in a relationship at the time. Davis turned himself in the next morning, admitting he had injured someone who was likely dead. Sentencing is scheduled for December 5th.
In a potential turning point now in the war in the Middle East, President Donald Trump has unveiled a new 20-point plan to end the war in Gaza, and he is getting a lot of support. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu supports the proposal, which would end the war immediately if Hamas agrees. The plan includes the return of hostages within 72 hours and a staged withdrawal of Israeli forces. Trump and Netanyahu met yesterday as some Israelis were already celebrating the move.
Finally, we have a deal to end the war, the bloody war in Gaza, and bring all our people back home.
And this morning, CBS News reporting Hamas and other Palestinian factions are leaning toward accepting the president's plan. The plan also outlines a massive economic effort to rebuild Gaza with no displacement of Palestinians. Hamas would be out of power, replaced by a temporary board of peace that would be chaired by President Trump. Hamas says that it will review the plan in good faith before responding.
President Trump says he'll withhold federal funding from New York City if Democratic candidate Zohran Mamdani wins the election. Trump posted on social media that he'll, quote, have problems with Washington like no mayor in the history of our once great city. This comes as some Trump allies urge him to consolidate support for former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who is running against Mamdani. Now turning to some more local news, the Madison School Board has voted to double their yearly stipend.
So instead of making $8,000 a year, they'll now make $15,000. A board president will make a little more, an additional $1,200. They were at $8,300. Board members will also receive $100 for a half-day retreat, $200 for a full day. The board did reject a motion to make board members eligible for health care. They also voted against an additional $3,500 yearly stipend for professional development. The last time the board boosted its pay was in 2015. The additional compensation is expected to cost the school district just over $60,000 a year.
UW Health is launching a training program to support the medical team of the Wisconsin Air National Guard's 115th Fighter Wing. In the program's first phase, medical staff from the Guard will come to UW Health for continuing clinical education and competency training. They will then rotate between the emergency unit, burn unit, and trauma life care center at the hospital.
It will open up additional opportunities to collaborate on things we may need to make coordinated responses on. For instance, if there ever was a mass casualty event, we would then already have this partnership and know how we work together clinically, how we can share information and support our community in the best way possible moving forward.
This agreement has been in the works for years. There's also talk about including other members within the 115th and some of UW Health's advanced training opportunities.
6:09 coming up. We're talking about your heart health, what a new study reveals about heart disease, and the warning signs you need to know.
And the World Dairy Expo is set to get underway a little bit later this morning. Our Josh Spreiter has a quick preview of what you can expect.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back at 6:13 on your Tuesday, and we are just a couple hours away, folks, from the World Dairy Expo getting underway.
That's right. Our Josh Spreiter and meteorologist Savannah Brito are live at the Alliant Energy Center this morning with more about the local impact and, of course, a look at your weather if you're headed out there. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Thank you. We're live at the World Dairy Expo. Josh is with me. We'll get to all of that and some changes, new things happening this year at it in just a second. But first, to get you up to speed on the weather, have some lower and patchy fog, not super dense, which is good, but this might be a factor as you're heading into work or anywhere early this morning. Some of our visibilities are up to 10, but we're down to 5 in Madison and most of Dane County. That's just some light patchy fog. 8 in Lone Rock, 5 in Camp Douglas, 10 though up in Watoma to our north. Temperatures, those are on the warm side. We're similar to this time yesterday. 55 though right now in Madison. Most of Dane County is sitting in the mid to upper 50s, and we even got those 60s in Perry and Belleville, currently sitting at 61. Some of those warmer areas are southwest of Madison. In Monroe, they're at 66 still, and Platteville's at 61. So it's a mild start. Probably maybe just need a sweatshirt before heading out. By the afternoon, though, temperatures are going to climb again. Yesterday, we had the mid to upper 80s. Today will be a little cooler than that, but still nowhere near where we should be. 82 is our forecast high later today. Still expecting mostly to partly sunny skies. I do think we'll see a little bit more cloud cover as we head for the afternoon compared to what we saw yesterday. We had lots of blue skies, and more specifically tonight, that's when a lot more cloud cover gets factored in. How about our next chance for rain? I don't think we're going to see that until we get into the weekend, and maybe even hold off until Sunday night. So if you're heading up to see any fall color across northern Wisconsin, there will be some showers Friday into Saturday. For us across central and southern Wisconsin, that'll hold off until the cold front approaches our area, and that's not going to happen until Sunday evening at the earliest. If the cold front speeds up, could see those showers get in here a little bit earlier than that, but I do think we're going to stay mostly dry until about Sunday evening, or even perhaps the overnight hours. As far as temperatures go, they're going to stay warm, and I don't think that blue, it actually breaks down west of here across the Pacific Northwest and parts of California, so maybe not even making it here. We're still looking at a very warm and also wet pattern as we head into that second week of October. So the only cooler days, it'll be pretty brief, like I said, above average, give or take a couple days here and there. That's what we're in store for. Next Tuesday and Wednesday, though, that's when our temperatures are going to drop into the upper 60s. So yeah, I mean, summer-like pattern, but like we were saying, it's not necessarily good for the cows, and that's a big reason why we're here today.
This time of year, you never know what you're going to get.
I know.
And this is your first time at the World Dairy Expo.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Isn't
There's
it
so
cool?
much yellow. Yeah, that goes with the theme this year.
It's fun to see the changes every year. This is year number 8 for me, if you can believe
Wow,
it. So
that's amazing.
it's so fun to see. And, you know, there's so much to talk about here at the World Dairy Expo, and we're lucky enough to have the general manager, Laura Hirschlip, joining us. Laura, good morning to you.
Good morning, Josh. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, so it officially opens up to the public today, but you guys have been busy for a long time getting all ready for this.
We sure have been. We had activities already starting on Saturday with some of our youth contests into Sunday. We've had cattle shows going since Sunday, and today the trade show kicks off at 9 a.m. along with our educational offerings.
So this year's theme is pretty special, and obviously the backdrop that we're seeing this morning is all for this.
Exactly. So this year's theme is the road to Madison. So like so many of our exhibitors, whether they are on our dairy cattle show side or on our trade show, they're traveling from all over the United States, Canada, and quite frankly around the globe. So this is a really fitting theme to come to Madison to celebrate all things dairy industry related. If you look in our Coliseum here, our shavings look like a road. We have the yellow that is part of the yellow stripes on the road. So we play that up and really embrace it, and we can't wait to welcome everybody everybody back.
You know, there are so many partners that make this possible, right? There's so much work that goes into just this week alone.
Yes, exactly. So this is the 58th year of World Dairy Expo, and it would not be possible without those partners. You know, there are just so many aspects of the event, so many partners that play in. And, you know, being here in Madison, we have so many of those partners nearby, but then also we're able to tap into folks throughout the country. So it's really special that way. And they all bring their expertise and their offerings right here to the show.
Well, it's so amazing to obviously show off the dairy industry during these times because there are so many local families that this is their livelihood.
Oh, without question. I mean, this is a celebration of all things dairy industry related, and certainly it is founded on and will always be rooted in those dairy farming families. So we're so thrilled and honored to be able to celebrate it, and we're going to have a great week.
Let's talk about that local impact too, because obviously being in Madison, being in the capital city, there is no more special place than right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's really amazing to walk out of the Coliseum or the pavilions and see Wisconsin's capital. I mean, how special is that? So to be right here, and you know, when we work closely with Destination Madison. Our economic impact annually is over $30 million, you know, so, but that all happens because of the people that are coming here, because of the people that are participating, and the people that have come before us and that will be involved in the future.
So the trade show opens up 9 o'clock this morning. So now it opens up to the public. So if people are interested, now's the time to come out starting today.
I always tell folks, if you like milk, if you like cows, if you like ice cream and or grilled cheese or chocolate shakes, this is the place to come. Come join us this week. As you said, opens today and goes through Friday.
Awesome. Well, Laura, thank you so much and hope you guys have a great week.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it.
And if you'd like to learn more about what's happening here at the World Dairy Expo, just go to the story up on channel3000.com. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll be talking to the dairy farmers of Wisconsin to see their take on such a special week, guys.
All right, good stuff. The Alliant Energy Center this morning, World Dairy Expo kicking off here shortly. Thanks, Josh.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out on social media or email us at inthe608@wisctv.com for a chance to be featured.
All right, on your morning health watch, 99% of people who had a heart attack, stroke, or heart failure had warning signs. That's according to a new Northwestern University study that finds key risk factors almost always precede cardiac events. These findings challenge the idea that heart attacks and strokes often happen without warning. What are the common risk factors? According to the CDC, those can include high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, obesity, or even a family history of the disease.
And many people in their 50s and 60s show signs they're addicted to ultra-processed foods. Researchers at the University of Michigan study found 1 in 5 women and 1 in 10 men in Generation X are hooked on sweets, fast food, or sugary drinks. Studies link eating ultra-processed foods regularly to increased risk of health issues like cardiovascular disease, cancer, obesity, and diabetes. Well, still ahead, Chipotle is turning up the heat. A look at the new sauce they're dropping to attract more customers.
Coming up in our next half hour, we're now learning the identity of the police officer severely injured in a weekend crash, what we know about that crash, the suspected driver, and everything else. Coming up. Well, check out Ashley here, getting out and enjoying nature, breathing in some fresh air, maybe touching some grass. A great shot of some illuminated clouds there. Appreciate you sharing your morning with us, Ashley.
All right, well, here's a look at what's trending this morning. Chipotle is spicing up its menu.
All right. Okay, so you typically don't like food with flavor.
So
what do you...
Now, if I'm coming from somebody of my view, I love all the flavors. Give me the seasonings. Give me all that. I don't like too much spice.
Okay.
Do not lack seasoning, ever.
Okay.
Ever. Seasoning's a must.
All right, so what do we got new here at Chipotle? What's going on?
So Chipotle starting today. The chain is launching a new red chimichurri sauce for a limited time. Right. So it's made with fresh garlic, cilantro, chili peppers, and citrus, and it costs just $1. But it's aimed at Gen Z customers who crave bold flavors. Apparently, the rest of the generation
is that a thing?
Are looking for that. I don't know.
You're not Gen Z, are you?
No.
You're a millennial?
Yeah, I guess whatever 96 is.
Okay.
Yeah, I never keep up with all those things. I'm assuming a millennial.
Okay. You're you.
Yeah,
I'm me.
Exactly.
You're you.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that line ends personally. But hey, apparently Gen Gen Z is the one who
likes the
willing
bold
to,
flavor.
yes, who are willing to go out there and try
good.
things.
I don't know what I'd do with it. You dip your chips in it, or you pour it on your bowl, or you
Maybe
dip your
on the
burrito in
burrito.
it. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Sounds good.
Yeah, Gen Z is always looking to make a TikTok, get their reaction or something. So there you go.
Okay.
Well, in other news, American Girl is bringing Broadway magic to its collector series with 2 new Wicked dolls. Take a look at these. These are so adorable. I actually love this. So they have the Glinda doll, priced at $295, as well as the Elphaba doll, which is also $295. And yeah, they're pretty cute. $295 if you're looking to get a Christmas present for your girlies, if they like American Girl dolls. But
yeah, put them on the shelf, keep it in the box.
exactly. I mean, I feel like this is a
$300.
collectible. This is a collectible.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. All right, hey, keep it here. We'll check back in at World Dairy Expo right after this. This morning, it is the final day to get a deal done to avoid a government shutdown. What's holding up negotiations and what's at stake for active duty service members?
Plus, a Madison area priest headed to court. We'll have the latest on the charges he's facing.
And the World Dairy Expo begins in just a couple hours. How big this year's show is and what it means for Dane County and the entire Badger State. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning on a Tuesday. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. Hope your Tuesday morning's off to a great start.
Here we are hanging out amongst the cows.
Yes.
We don't get the real deal, though, this morning. That's Savannah and Josh. They are out live at the Alliant Energy Center this morning to give us a preview of what's going on at World Dairy Expo this year. Good morning, gang.
Good morning, guys. So maybe early to a lot of you at home, but as you can tell behind us, these farmers are already well underway here. You can see them washing the cattle this morning. They're getting ready for some of the cattle shows that are going to be starting today. This is such a big week, and this is the first day that the World Dairy Expo is open to the public. So those trade shows are going to be opening at 9 o'clock this morning, and they want you to come on out. This is an opportunity for you to come out and see the dairy industry in person, up front, up close, all of those things. And the weather, Savannah, is looking great.
Yeah, it's looking absolutely beautiful. It's nice right now. It'll set the tone for a hot day later, but that's okay. I know the cows don't like it that much, but we do have some fall-like days ahead, just not till next week. So we got to enjoy the temperatures that we're seeing right now. We do have a little bit of fog, not super dense of fog locally, but Madison's down to 5 miles right now. That's the big story, but check out our temperatures. 55, pretty comfortable right now. There's a couple of warm spots, though. Platteville's at 62 and Monroe's at 66.
Wow.
And those are the temperatures that we were talking about that the cows kind of like better, but it'll get pretty hot later this afternoon. We're looking at the lower 80s. We had some spots that reached like 87, 88 yesterday.
That's insane.
I mean, it's September 30th now. October starts tomorrow, and summer continues. Summer-like weather continues anyways.
It really does. You know, we were talking to the folks at the World Dairy Expo a little earlier. This time of year, you never know what you're going to get. There have been some really, really cold years, which is not fun for anybody, especially if people want to come on out. This year's on the warmer side. But at this hour, obviously, we've got our light coats on.
It's
comfortable.
Yeah.
But they kind of have to, think about the cows because the cows don't like the extreme heat.
Yeah, they like 65-degree temperatures, we heard.
Yeah, so a lot to look forward to. Again, this is the first day of the World Dairy Expo being open to the public, though they've been busy for days getting ready for this. Coming up in the 608, guys, in just a few minutes, we're going to be talking to the dairy farmers of Wisconsin about that local impact here and just how special this is, having the World Dairy Expo here in Madison.
All right, Josh and Savannah, thank you. We're going to move on now to our top stories. Congress faces a midnight deadline to pass a funding package or risk the government shutting down for the first time in nearly 7 years.
Democrats and Republicans are at odds over health care and spending, even as thousands of federal workers stand to be furloughed or even permanently laid off. Democrats pushing for more Affordable Care Act subsidies and a reversal of Medicaid funding cuts. Monday, congressional leaders met with the president in the Oval, but left without reaching a deal.
But it's in the president's hands whether to avoid a shutdown or not.
I think we're headed to a shutdown because the Democrats won't do the right thing.
President Trump has called Democrats' demands unreasonable.
Here's part of what's at stake. Active duty service members, including deployed National Guard, would have to continue serving without pay. A bill gaining bipartisan support, the Pay Our Troops Act of 2026, has been introduced to keep paychecks flowing, but it's unlikely to pass in time with the House out of session until October 7th. Meanwhile, non-essential civilian Defense Department employees face furloughs. To get the latest on the budget negotiations and the looming shutdown, download the free Channel 3000 News app. If you sign up for push alerts, you'll know immediately when the news breaks.
Happening today, hundreds of U.S. generals and admirals will gather in Virginia for a rare meeting at the Quantico Marine Corps Base. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth calling for this assembly late last week. The White House says that the focus will be on the future of the military under the Trump administration.
Happening tomorrow, Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin will stop providing abortion services. This comes as new data shows a 5% drop in clinic-performed abortions in the first half of the year, mostly in states with 6-week bans or those bordering states with total bans. The expanded use of medication abortion is also believed to be reducing demand for in-clinic procedures. Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin operates 3 clinics that offer abortion services: Sheboygan, which provides medication only, and Madison and Milwaukee, which also provides surgical options.
Happening today, the Madison area priest charged with child sex crimes will be in court.
Clintonville police arrested Andrew Showers in August after he tried to meet up with a fictional 14-year-old girl for sex. Now, Showers worked at Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish and St. James School. The diocese says he has since been restricted from public ministry and barred from contact with minors. Showers will be in court in Wapaka County this morning at 9:45 for an initial appearance.
New this morning, a tense standoff in Monona ended safely overnight. A man threatened family members and threatened to shoot police. The incident happened on 4th Street near West Broadway, where he was staying with relatives. After hours of negotiation, Monona Police Tactical Team arrested him at 1:35 this morning without incident.
We now know more about the officer facing serious injuries after being hit head-on during a chase. Officer Ryan Kimberly and his K-9 Freddie were rescued moments before their squad car caught fire. The chase began Sunday when Monona police pursued a reckless tow truck driven by Christopher Brugger Jr. He eventually hit Officer Kimberly's car. Police arrested Brugger after he tried to run. Court records show Brugger also hit a Monona police car in 2022.
They're seeing the same people time and time again, and I think there'll be a lot of reflection that will need to go on within our justice community here in Dane County to see, should something differently have been done? Should this case have been handled, this individual been handled differently? At this time, I think it's too early, but certainly I think that will be examined.
K-9 Freddie sustained minor injuries thanks to his protective vest. Officer Kimberly is a current serving member of the Wisconsin Air National Guard 115th Fighter Wing. The Dane County Sheriff's Office is handling the criminal investigation, while the Wisconsin State Highway Patrol is handling the crash. Both are ongoing.
Madison police are looking for a man accused of inappropriately touching a woman in an elevator downtown. The incident happened on University Avenue near the Kohler Art Library on September 9th. The caller says that she and the man were in an elevator when he made some small talk, but as she left, she says that he touched her inappropriately. If you have any information about this man or the incident, you are asked to call Madison Police. And if you or someone you know has been a victim of sexual assault or rape, there are some resources available. The RCC Sexual Violence Resource Center in Madison has a 24-hour hotline. That number is on your screen. And the National Sexual Assault Hotline can also be reached 24/7.
In Michigan this morning, all the people who were missing after the deadly church shooting and fire have now been accounted for. 4 people are dead and 8 others were injured during Sunday's service. Some suffered gunshot wounds while others were hurt by smoke inhalation. Officials are still working to determine the motive of the suspected gunman, identified as Thomas Sanford, a Marine veteran.
In other national news, Oregon's challenging President Trump's decision to deploy federal troops to Portland. The state's filed an emergency motion to halt further deployments, accusing the administration of militarizing the city. A memo from the defense secretary outlines plans to activate 200 troops for 60 days. The White House insists it's to protect ICE facilities. Oregon leaders argue the city remains safe and calm.
Louisiana's governor is requesting federal approval to activate up to 1,000 National Guard troops. The move comes as homicides, carjackings, and gang violence rise amid shortages in police staffing across major cities. If approved, the troops would support local police and help secure critical infrastructure through the 2026 fiscal year.
6:38 now. We're in our final stretch of our Coats for Kids campaign, and we could really use your help. We want to thank everybody who's donated so far. We've collected, look at this, 2,239 items so far this season, and we have until Saturday to reach our goal of 5,000. You can drop off those donations at any Clinky Cleaners from now until October 4th. We've got a long way to go, and if you don't have anything hanging around the house to donate, you can always go to channel3000.com and donate through the Amazon wish list. All right, we are getting ready for this year's World Dairy Expo. This year's theme is The Road to Madison.
The expo returns for its 58th year, running today through Friday. This year, more than 3,000 cows will be featured, along with about 1,740 exhibitors from 30 states and Canadian provinces. 400 volunteers and 248 sponsors help make the event possible. We have our crew out there this morning calling the cows home out there. More than 3,000 cows. Can you just imagine the sight they're seeing right now?
Yeah, and they're already busy this morning. You know, farmers, they are up at, well before the crack. They keep our hours.
Yes.
They basically do. So we're going to check in with them coming up in just a moment.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, coming up in your consumer news, President Trump has unveiled new tariffs, how they'll impact your future purchases.
And yeah, as we take a live look out at the Alina Energy Center this morning, where World Dairy Expo kicks off here in just a couple of hours. We'll check in with Josh and Savannah when we come back.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
6:42 on your Friday. We're getting ready for the world. On your Tuesday.
Yes, Tuesday.
Is that what it said in the teleprompter?
Yeah, it did.
Did it?
It's
Did
a
it?
Friday.
It said it right there on your Friday.
But it's Tuesday. Don't get people too excited.
It is 6:43 though. I promise you, unless you're watching our tape delayed.
Yes.
9 a.m. Then it's definitely not 6:43. Anyway, the World Dairy Expo kicks off this morning.
Yes, it does. We're getting ready for it. Our meteorologist, Savannah Brito, is live at the Alliant Energy Center with your first warn forecast. If you're headed out there, she got it covered for you. Hey there.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Live at the World Dairy Expo. It is a little foggy of a start of a morning, but at least the temperatures are nice and we're waking up to clear skies. So it's just light, patchy fog in some of the area. Madison's currently down to 5 miles, but if you look just to our northwest, we are seeing a lot lower of visibilities. Some of those areas up near Wisconsin Dells and Camp Douglas, those are down to about half a mile just to a quarter of a mile. So that's where the most dense and a little bit more widespread of fog is early this morning, but it's comfortable. I would say maybe a sweatshirt or lighter jacket at most. You will not need that later this afternoon though, because temperatures are going to rise into the 80s. We had highs that reached the mid to upper 80s yesterday, and we had a high of 82. That's our forecast high later this afternoon here across the Madison area. So not quite as warm as yesterday, but we're still going to be well above average. Our next chance of rain, that's not going to arrive until later. I would say maybe Sunday night with a cold front at the absolute earliest. Until then, dry conditions, and we're going to have a lot of sunshine. Up until then, after, just a little bit of rain Sunday night into Monday. So enjoy the dry and summer-like weather conditions while we do have them. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties with our graphics, though. So I'm going to bring Josh in now. We'll get back to that Sunday. I know, I handed you the iPad, and, it's technology.
Technology being technology, we know how that goes. But,
Yeah.
I mean, the good news is the weather is really nice out here today.
Absolutely perfect if you're heading out to the World Dairy Expo. Yes.
Today's the day, and this
Yes.
is such an exciting time for the dairy industry. And we're lucky enough to have the dairy farmers of Wisconsin joining us. We're going to walk on up here and join Suzanne Fanning. Suzanne, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for coming out so early.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is not that early for a lot of farmers because they're up and at it already this morning.
Absolutely. 3 a.m. That's when the farmers are getting up.
This is such a special time, obviously, for the World Dairy Expo. But here in Wisconsin, this is what we live for.
Yeah, it is. I mean, farming's our birthright here. It's not just what we do, it's who we are.
So let's talk about where we're standing right now and in the importance of this little trailer right here.
Yeah, it's so exciting. So we are actually launching a really fun campaign today in partnership with Charlie Barron's, and it's all about showcasing the personalities, the pride, and really the quirks and personalities of our dairy farm community. So I can walk you through just really quickly some of our personas.
Let's do it.
Okay, so typically people are thinking of farmers as being kind of an older gentleman sitting on a bucket, and that is really not true today, right? So today, there are some fierce, beautiful, strong, independent women who are dairy farming, and typically people walk up and say, oh, you're way too pretty to be a dairy farmer. And so we did a whole persona on that character, and we're calling her the Dairyland Darling. So that's one of our personas.
Love it.
And if you walk down here, in contrast, we've got our barnyard baller. We say that this guy has BTE, big tractor energy. Yep, all right. Then, of course, Gen Z is hitting the scene really hard. And slowly but surely, they're convincing Dad that the cloud is not just about the weather anymore. So this one is actually played by Alice in Dairyland.
I was going to say, I know who that is.
Recognize her. All right. Then also, you've heard of TikTok. There's also Farm Talk now. So we've got a lot of farmers who are out there. Of course, we say there's a lot more manure and a little more cursing on Farm Talk than there is on regular TikTok. So you got a lot of farmers.
Oh, we got all of them here.
And then, of course, like, there's the grandma of the farm who's out there. She's already raised 2 generations of dairy farmers, about 17 barn cats. She's got barn shoes older than you, and she's convinced that butter and prayer can solve every problem. So, Mooma. And then there's, like, the classic farm MacGyver. With baler twine and duct tape, he can fix anything on the farm. Hasn't thrown anything away since 1997, just in case. So these are just a few of the personas. There are more coming. We want you to know these are your friends, these are your neighbors, these are Wisconsinites. You can support these farmers by looking for the Proudly Wisconsin badge, by eating Wisconsin cheese, drinking Wisconsin milk, eating ice cream, eating butter. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that?
These are all of our favorite things, and that's really what the World Dairy Expo is about. And we're talking about these families. I mean, we love to smile, we love to laugh about this, but
Right.
this is a lot of realness for these folks.
Absolutely. And so you'll be seeing skits on Charlie Barron's social channels today featuring these farmers.
Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. So if people are interested, come on out to the World Dairy Expo, because this is an opportunity for folks to see the dairy industry up front, up close.
That's right. Technology, innovation, networking, it's all happening here at World Dairy Expo.
Awesome. Well, Suzanne, thank you so much for your time, and thanks for the fun this morning. This is awesome.
Of course. Thank you.
Absolutely. And if you'd like to learn more about what's happening at the World Dairy Expo, you can go to this story up on channel3000.com. Again, those gates open at 9 o'clock this morning. That trade show is going to get underway, and there's plenty of fun to be had over the coming days, guys.
Oh, that's good stuff. Which one would you be? You have one?
Hard to choose here.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun, though.
So many great ones.
The BTE, big tractor energy.
Is that what you would be?
I don't know, probably not. Maybe more the farm MacGyver. I know, that's good stuff. All right, Josh and Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin, thank you so much. Hey, Josh is always looking for fun stuff to share in the 608. You know that. You may also know that a lot of his segments come from folks just like you, so reach out and let him know what you want to see featured. 6:49 as we talk about some consumer news this morning. Expect a potential rise in wooden furniture and building material costs. President Trump announcing some new tariffs on foreign lumber imports. So starting on October 14th, new tariffs on foreign lumber imports take effect. 10% on softwood lumber, 25% on kitchen cabinets, with cabinet tariffs doubling to 50%. On January 1st, U.S. imports about 30% of its lumber from Canada. Home builders warn of some challenges ahead to meet the demand without these imports.
The president's tariffs are hitting the big screen. On social media, President Trump announced a new plan to impose 100% tariffs on any and all movies that are made outside of the United States. There's been no word on when or how this would be enacted, but at least one industry analyst warns it could be tough to enforce since a service and not a raw good.
And check out what's coming back to McDonald's. Monopoly. Starting on October 6th, customers can win prizes like a Jeep Grand Cherokee, a million American Airlines miles, or even $1 million cash. This year, the game pieces are going to be scanned through the McDonald's app, though, for redemption. The promotion debuted in 1987, last seen in the U.S. in 2014. That's a fun one.
Yes, so it's making a comeback. I know it always just gave me a thrill to just be able to peel off the little piece of paper just to see, like, what did I get this time?
Right.
Yes.
I feel like they were tough to peel off the fry baskets. It was like, just trying to get in there with your fingernails. But
yes,
there you go. Some nostalgia there on your Tuesday morning.
Bringing it back. Love that. Well, coming up in the morning sprint, the government is making a change on how it sends checks, how this will affect those who earn Social Security.
Back after this. 6:54, time for the morning sprint.
The clock is ticking to avoid a government shutdown. Republican and Democratic congressional leaders met with President Trump Monday in a last-ditch effort to avoid the shutdown. Following the meeting, both sides reported they are at an impasse, with Democrats pushing for a spending bill that includes an extension of Affordable Care Act tax credits and restores Medicaid funding cuts. Congress must reach a deal before midnight.
Today's the final day the U.S. government will be issuing paper checks. It's part of the Trump administration's effort to fully modernize federal benefit payments, save some money, and fight financial fraud. The move will impact how you receive things like Social Security checks and your federal tax refund.
This morning, Madison area priest Andrew Showers will appear in Wapaka County Court at 9:45. Arrested in August by Clintonville police, Showers allegedly attempted to meet a fictional 14-year-old girl for sex. Previously serving at Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish and St. James School, he is now restricted from public ministry and barred from contact with minors.
World Dairy Expo kicks off this morning at the Alliant Energy Center. This year's theme is The Road to Madison. The expo returns for its 58th year with events running today through Friday. Tens of thousands of attendees are expected over the course of 4 days. The schedule is just packed with events for every bovine enthusiast, from shows to learning sessions and, of course, plenty of industry vendors.
The Madison School Board has voted to double their yearly stipend, increasing it from $8,000 to $15,000. The board president will make an additional $1,200 on top of that. Members will also earn $100 for half-day retreats and $200 for full-day sessions. Motions for health care eligibility and an additional $3,500 for professional development were rejected. This pay increase, the first since 2015, will cost the district over $60,000 annually.
Well, we're live at the World Dairy Expo, and you can kind of see we had cotton candy skies. If you're coming out, everything opens at 9 in the morning. It's going to be a beautiful day, a little warm, but at least weather conditions are going to be nice. We have a little bit of fog right now that we're waking up with. But yeah, temperatures sitting around 55 in Madison and across Dane County. We've got the mid to upper 50s. We'll rise to highs later today in the lower 80s, mostly sunny skies, guys.